I'm finna give y'all the honest truth. Kevin Durant is out for a season. I averaged 28 points and lead the league in scoring. Nobody gave him credit for that. Cool. Kevin Durant comes back. I go from leading the league in scoring to and averaging
to like 23
assists,
a game
to then averaging 23 and upping my assists to top 3 with 10 assists. Sure. Kevin Durant then leaves. I go from averaging 23 points to averaging 31 points and leading the league in scoring. You know what happens the next year? We get Paul George. What do? I scale back my scoring to 25, and I lead the league in assists with 10.3. The very next year, Paul George is number 3 in MVP rankings. Why? Because Russell Westbrook scaled back his scoring and upped his assist output to let Paul George go to that level of scoring. And once again, I lead the league in assists back-to-back years. If y'all can't accept that, and on top of that, the last 3 years that I just mentioned, I averaged a triple-double. Wow. If that's not dominant, if that's not a lead guard, if that's not advantage creating, if that's not doing everything I possibly can do for my team to win, then look, y'all just don't respect basketball. And I'm going to just leave it at that. And on top of that, during this time, I'm not just a whack-ass defender. Am I elite? Probably not. But do I make winning defensive plays? And when I want to, can I be elite on that end? Yes, I can be. Sure, so look, if this isn't dominant, if this isn't giving you everything that you want from a lead guard and more, I don't know what to say.
Mr. John D, I forgot that last episode that we did do about the point guards, right? And everybody was all, oh my God, you have Chris Webber at 9. You didn't have Russell Westbrook on the list. 100%. I thought that was just as crazy.
100%.
I thought that was just as crazy.
Explain yourself, John.
John D was not the only one that didn't have Russell Westbrook.
100%.
Well, Morris, how you said when it came to me without?
I want to let people know who didn't have Russell Westbrook. John D is one of them. No, you don't know. John D is one of them. Then we've got Chilltown Hoops. He did not have Russell Westbrook. Then you've got Ox. What? He did not have Russell Westbrook.
Ox did have him.
Yeah, Ox did not have Russell Westbrook. Penn did not have Russell Westbrook. Carson from
majority of the people up here.
Carson from Nerdsesh did not have Russell Westbrook. And that's it. So those people did not have Russell Westbrook.
So the real hoop knowers
it was us four and Carson.
Yes, you 4 and Carson.
Yo, we getting back to the list. John D, I don't even want to hear.
Put me on the bottom row with the Russell Westbrook non-haters. Put the haters on the.
Mars, do you have him top 10?
Swap me and John D. There we go. Yeah, I had him at 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't understand getting pressed about.
Oh yeah,
Ron had him at 4.
Ron's the only one who had him in the top 5. Ron's the only one.
Deservedly so.
No one else had him higher than 8. 8 was the highest anyone else had him. Oh no, my fault. 7 was a couple spots. No one else had him higher than 7.
Did anyone have Jerry West lower than me? I'm just curious.
No, you were the only Jerry West hater.
Where did he have him? Where did you have him?
9. Jerry West at 9 is criminal. But
it's not criminal.
It's criminal.
You're trying to cook me in the comments yesterday. I don't think it's that criminal. I'm sorry. I'm alive.
Well, I hope you don't think your list is criminal. I
saw Gary Payton hoop, Mars. You didn't. You watch it. You watch.
Oh, so I saw Jerry West, but didn't see Gary Payton. Yeah, okay.
I didn't see Jerry West. I'm not that old.
Not better than Jerry West.
It's cool. The games are online. Just watch them.
No,
I watched Jerry West. There's a reason I had him at 3rd.
Jerry Payton was not better than Jerry West.
Gary Payton is not better than Jerry West. To me, Gary Payton is not better than Jerry West.
No, that's
cool.
If Gary Payton had to match up against Jerry West in a finals, Jerry West ain't doing shit. What are we doing
Bill
here?
Bill Russell in your top 3 all time. Like, I'm not listening to that logic from you.
Bill Russell whooped his butt.
Like, I'm not listening to you tell me, oh, well, this guy who played 30 years later, if they matched up, he would dominate. And then you tell me you have Bill Russell 3rd all time. That's contradictory logic, in my opinion. If you're going to evaluate fairly, which I think is relative to error, and have Bill Russell as high as you do, which I respect, you can't then say when it comes to Jerry West, oh, but he would get dominated by players who played 35 years later. That's logically inconsistent, in my opinion.
It's logically very consistent because I'm talking about physical advantages and I'm talking about scaling up what you do to a different era. And yeah, I think Bill Russell had Obviously,
what physical advantage did Gary Payton have over Jerry West? Jerry West was 6'5". Let's start there.
And a super athlete too.
What physical advantage did he have over Jerry West? Go.
I think he was stronger. I think he was a way better defender. You don't think he's a better defender?
No, he can be a better defender.
I'm not saying that. I won't argue that point. Jerry West was.
Jerry West is clearly the better offensive player. So
here's the thing. I think if you're playing in the 60s, yeah, everything Jerry West did, like crazy, right? The shot making, the deep shooting, the athleticism, the high jump, and all that stuff. But hey, man,
shooting off the dribble with strong hand, shooting off the dribble with the weak hand.
Okay, he was ahead of schedule.
He was
literally dudes in Mexico doing that today.
Way ahead of schedule. Not ahead of schedule. Way ahead of schedule.
You got to give him the
I'm not disrespecting what he did in his era. I'm saying
being a pioneer is a big deal.
Yes, it
is. Mexico got some hoopers, man.
And Peter, if that's the case, then SGA got to be high on your list. If that's the case. And I'm the reason why, and Luka Doncic too. The reason why I'm saying this is because the reason why I'm saying this is because you can't do you got to do the relative to era. You can't say, oh well, this guy played in the 90s and this guy played in the 60s.
Well, if it's relative to era, then no one is touching Bill Russell ever.
But then how can you tell me Oscar Robertson is above Peyton and Jerry West is below Peyton, and Oscar Robertson played at the same time as Jerry West?
Because I think he dominated one.
But what was Oscar Robertson doing in his era that would transcend eras that Jerry West couldn't do?
Look, I'm gonna be honest.
Great question.
I wasn't alive, Mars. So like you, I've had to go back and look at YouTube, go look at stat sheets and figure out what the hell this was. I would say that dominating your position from that position, from the guard position, sort of revolutionizing this triple-double thing, even in the pace that he was playing in, I think that was huge. Plus, I have to say, it does behoove me to respect the fact that many people that I really respect said Oscar Robertson was the best player they've ever seen in their lifetime.
Okay, so
at that time.
First of all, I don't need to be alive to know that J. Edgar Hoover was one of the worst human beings in human history. I don't need to be allowed to know that. And I also don't need to be allowed to know that Oscar Robertson was transcending the game, but so was Jerry West. 100% he was doing that. And there is no separation between Jerry West and Gary Payton physically, none whatsoever. And as far as a bucket getter, because I know this is where we live today.
None?
This is where we live today. We live today in the lead guard having to be a bucket getter. Jerry West exceeds that because that's primarily what he was a bucket getter. He was an elite distributor, but primarily.
How many teams were in the league, Chill?
Well,
eight.
I'm glad you brought
8 to 10. 8 to 10.
Okay,
and
so
let's all 8 of them teams was getting dealt to ass every night.
Well, not only that, Ron,
the same 8 that Bill Russell was going against, and you have him thirds.
But he won. That matters
Jerry West
to me.
lost to the Celtics. That was the only team he was losing to.
So I gotta give you credit for losing.
When did Oscar win? After Bill Russell was gone. The same as Jerry West. Except Oscar won't go into the finals every year. Oscar was losing to every team in the NBA.
I think Jerry might have the same issue that
Chamberlain
John
on your team.
Just
the previous year's MVP.
For like 4 years. He came into the league in 1960. He didn't get built until 69.
I'm saying you lost in the finals at home with the former MVP on your team.
Was Jerry West performing well?
He won the finals.
He played really well.
I'm saying, like, you're blaming a player for like performing well and losing.
Jerry West joined the NBA in 1961.
Look, man, I'm
in 1962 he went to the finals and lost in Game 7 to the Celtics.
Second year,
In 1963 he went to the finals and lost to the Celtics. In 1964 they lost to the St. Louis Hawks. In 1965 they went to the finals and lost to the Celtics. In 1966 they went to the finals and lost in Game 7 to the Celtics. In 1967 they lost to the Warriors, so they lost to not the Celtics. In 1968 they lost in the finals to the Celtics. In 1969 they lost to the Celtics. In 1970 they lost to the Knicks. Shout out to Walt Frazier, Game 7. I remember that game. And then 1971 I believe Jerry West was hurt. And in 1972 he wins a championship against the Knicks that he lost to in 1970. And then 1973 and 4 were his last years in which he lost in the finals again to the Knicks in 73. and then lost to the Bucks in 74. So,
and what year did he get the Finals MVP?
69. He got the MVP in 69. He won his championship in 72. He lost to the Celtics about 6 times. Like, but should I go through Oscar Robertson's playoffs and see who he was losing to? Would that help anything? Since Jerry West is being discredited for losing,
Jerry West is is him. It's fine.
We seen Braun lose multiple finals, but it's like so. Like, so we all know that's Braun.
The only thing, Diesel, getting back to your list, the only thing is that you don't have some of these great point guards, but then you got SGA
and Luka.
And
I can explain it.
Well, I heard you explain it, and I get where you're coming from. To me, it's just like there's a really small sample size of great SGA, and there's a much bigger sample size for some of the guys on the list. And I respect your list. Don't get me wrong.
Like John Stockton.
Yeah,
wait. You didn't have John Stockton on your list?
No, I did not. I didn't have Stockton. I didn't have.
He also said he would take 3 years at SGA over 20 years in John.
Yeah, that's why
I think having I think throughout that 3-year stretch, SGA was a top 5 scorer, and you could say in his 3rd year he was the best scorer in the league. I think that's much easier to build around when you have somebody that's reached those heights. Do you guys think John Stockton has reached those heights as one of the best scorers in the league and can contribute to an all-time league defense? I would take that. I would take that and say, okay, I'm going to roll my dice and build a championship around the best scorer in the league. Like, I think there's a talent gap between SGA and
Ron,
Luka,
fix your face, Ron.
Russ.
Why should he fix his face? John Stockton was 5 times the defender.
And as for Luka Doncic, he's one of the best playmakers we've seen, and he's one of the best scorers in this era in the pick and roll as a pull-up 3-point shooter, as a post player. He's one of the best post guards we've seen post Kobe Bryant. I would just take Luka Doncic, and now I understand why you would ask me why Russ isn't top 10. I just think it's much harder to build around Russell Westbrook. I just think it's much harder to build around him. I think it's harder to have him as a number 2. I think you have to move way too much around your roster to get Russ to work and to be a championship level type of team. So I just think building around SGA and Luka Doncic would be more seamless.
I want to ask you a question, not about the players and all of that. Because your list is your list. I just want to know, what was the criteria in the list? Was it supposed to be the best point guards that you believe, or the greatest point guards? You know, that's 2 different conversations. One is talent.
I left it to everyone's discretion, just the top 10 all-time point guards. However you define that was for your own.
How do you define it, John? How do you define your list?
A few things that I valued was advantage creation, portability, and dominance. Those were the things.
Longevity didn't factor in at all.
It factored in, but not as much as I think other people factored it in.
How was John Stockton? How does John Stockton not create advantages?
I'm not saying he doesn't. I just think some of these.
That was the question I asked.
So you think that there's guys who create advantages more than John Stockton?
Yes.
It's not that he doesn't create advantages.
Yeah, it's not that he didn't create advantages. I just think there are guys that created advantages.
Who created more advantages, John Stockton or Jason Kidd?
I think if you look at both offensively and defensively, I think Jason Kidd in transition as a post defender, as an off-ball defender, and he made great passes out of transition.
Defensive advantage creation. Okay. Interesting.
How big is that gap?
That's why I had Walt Frazier so high.
How big is that gap between Jason Kidd?
He was also really good offensive. John Stockton was great in transition, but he wasn't Jason Kidd. But he was great in transition.
No, he wasn't. He was not Jason Kidd. I won't argue that point. What's the gap?
John Stockton was better in the half court, though. So
yes, he was. And so to your point, John D, what's the gap between John Stockton and Jason Kidd in terms of the defensive playmaking?
Defensive playmaking, I think Jason Kidd is like here, and I don't think it's like a huge gap, but I think there's a gap because when you look at not Russell Westbrook, Jason Kidd was like 6'5", 6'4", and he was like bigger. So you can put him on wings, you can put him in the post, he can deny the post, he can play off ball, he can be like a guy that can rotate around the rim and take away rim attempts, and he can also get the ball and go in transition. So when you're creating steals, you're rebounding, you're going straight off the rebound. I just really value that.
I can appreciate
John D, go ahead, I'm sorry. Only problem I really got with the John Stockton thing, I'll let them defend that. I don't really care. Russell Westbrook, bro.
Real talk, you're wasting your breath.
No, but it
Save
sounds
it.
like you're liking like a peak argument too, because longevity isn't really like factoring in much. And to me, you're saying there's like 10 point guards who are better players than like peak Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, what point guards had a better 4-year run than Russ? I'm not saying
What
there
are
isn't
the-
none.
what are
I'm
4
just
years?
asking. I'm just asking.
What are the 4
Like
years?
20
No, I don't know what you would
double years
determine as the 4
talking
years.
about?
So
For me, it's like 15 to 17 is Russell.
Yeah, some along
the
those
4
lines.
year the 4 years I'm gonna say is scoring title Russ.
15,
I think he took a year off. Scoring title Russ again. Then I
17.
think the next year assist
18.
title.
So
I'll
15
say-
to 19. 15 to 19.
15 to 19.
Okay.
Ron, you want to use like numbers? I'll give you a number. I'll give you a great number. How many point guards in NBA history have played 20 plus years and have won a championship?
I played 20 plus years.
How long was Jason Kidd didn't get to 20 years?
0.
Mm-mm.
Wait a minute. One guy who played 20 plus years. Who played 20 plus years and won a championship? Is
I'll
it
give
Kyle,
you a. I'll
is
give
it
you
Kyle
a hint.
Lowry?
Yes, it is.
Is it
Oh,
Okay.
He's
okay.
been in
Had
the
to
league
be
for 20
Raptors,
years.
Mhm.
Yeah.
06, right? 06, Charles?
He
Did
had.
you have Kyle, did you have Kyle
This
Lowry?
is his.
on your
This is
list,
20th. This is his
Yeah.
20th. I did not put Kyle Lowry on my list.
Yeah, what does that got to do with anything? We have a GOAT
I don't know.
conversation.
Longevity,
I don't-
best player on an Eastern Conference Finals team. Y'all. Well, I'm sorry. When was Russell Westbrook the best player on a Finals team?
When was
Ron.
Kyle Lowry? the
Sorry,
best player
sorry,
on the
I
finals
sorry,
team?
I played
When
with
was,
Kevin Durant.
when
My
was
fault.
Kyle Lowry?
He was the best player on an Eastern Conference Finals team.
You know what? You know what's funny?
My humble opinion,
You
in
know
my
what?
humble opinion, Russell Westbrook was OKC's best player in the 2016 playoffs.
Bing
In my humble
bong.
opinion. In my humble opinion. So
Was
Bing
Kyle
bong.
Lowry better than DeMar DeRozan?
I
Yeah.
think so, but I'm not as high on DeMar. So that's
Chill.
Yeah, he was.
Hard to be.
yeah, I'm not as high on DeMar. Like,
Yeah.
but Russ playing better than Kevin Durant in the playoffs, I think is
I
uber.
don't think we
impressive.
give DeMar DeRozan nearly as much.
I
credit.
think DeMar was the best player on that team.
I
think
do too.
He
Real talk. I do.
underperformed.
Yes.
I have
So,
no
like,
problem
we
with that.
don't
Yeah,
respect
I have
him,
no
but,
problem
like,
That's
with
what I
saying
think.
DeMar's
he
the
was
best
the
player.
best player on that team.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I have no problem with that statement. I just think if you value advantage creation and you aren't factoring in longevity as much, I have a hard time saying the 10 guys you have are better advantage creators than Russell Westbrook. And I know you said the portability stuff, but I think you're either underselling the portability issues of ball dominant guys like Steve Nash who can't play defense, or guys like Jason Kidd who couldn't shoot the ball and were half court, they struggled, or even guys like I feel like you're understating some of those guys' portability, Luka's portability issues. I feel you're underselling their portability issues and then underselling Russell Westbrook's advantage creation. Like, I feel like two of the things you
I think
value, you're
some of the things,
underselling
because
other people.
when I look at Russell Westbrook, maybe it's just I've seen teams have to like make serious adjustments to their roster for him to fit in consistently on a team. We've
Yeah.
seen
Well,
that in
Rockets.
Houston. We've seen that in Houston. We've seen it in OKC. It's just really hard to get.
What they do in
I was
OKC?
in OKC.
Yeah, what
I
they
just
do in
think
OKC.
having like Paul George next to him and seeing like it there be a struggle with him and Paul George and him have the ball as much. I just don't think you could put Russ in
Paul
a
George
He
had
has
the
some of
best
his
year of his
best years in
career.
his
Paul George
career.
had the
yeah,
best
I'm
year of
saying,
his
I'm
career.
saying, I just think
Hey Mars, get on my head.
My fault.
I just think Russ would not be
Johnny.
able to take a lesser
John,
role for
what?
like a team to reach championship level. I just don't think he could. I don't think he could. And as for advantage creation, I can understand Russ being able to be a downhill threat, a transition threat. But there are also times where Russell Westbrook can be like, there could be extremely high highs and there could be extremely low lows. And I've seen
That
the
part
lows
right
with
there.
Russell Westbrook
That part
enough
right
to where I just don't know if I can build a championship team consistently.
Ron,
And
you're a
that's what
foot.
that's what I'd rather choose with guys like Steve Nash. They had a much higher floor. Guys like Jason Kidd, they had a much higher floor because of the defense, because of the passing, and I can understand where you're coming from with Jason Kidd because the shot selection was as bad, but I think Jason Kidd makes up for it as with his floor as a defender, being as versatile as he was. I don't think Russell Westbrook never got to those heights.
Do you
Ron,
think Russ
you-
played well with James Harden and when James Harden was on OKC? Like low-key as a two?
Yeah, I do think.
I think he played well. I think he played well, yeah.
Does that not go into like his portability?
It
His
does.
ability to play
I mean,
multiple
I
positions,
think so, but I'm saying
on,
like,
off ball?
yeah, I can understand that.
John, would it move you at all to know that John Stockton led the entire playoffs in 92, 94, 96, 97, and 98 in assists? at
No.
all? No, doesn't
But
I
matter.
mean, it would move me. I mean, it's not like I got these guys in the 20 to 25th.
Yeah.
right,
These are my
and that's
first
fair because Ron being a football guy, Ron, you're the especially during that time as the lead guard, you are the quarterback. Ron, what quarterback are you putting in the top 10 who you are nervous about giving this guy the ball in the meat and potatoes of the game? Name them.
I'm not nervous about giving Russ the ball in the meet.
I am.
Brett Favre.
Peyton Manning has some bad
I'm-
turnovers
I'm-
as well.
I'm not nervous.
Yeah.
Russ is. Y'all act like Russ hasn't made spectacular plays in crunch time.
Who do you
Spectacular
trust?
plays in the
So
clutch.
who do you trust more in the meat and potatoes of the game of those 10 point guards? And again, this is the guy who I'm putting the ball in his hands when we get late in games. Who do you trust more with the ball? Those guys or him?
Chill. In the last 2 minutes of the game,
Last 5 minutes of the game.
We can say last 5 minutes of the game. I trust John Stockton with the ball more. If I have Luka Doncic, if I have to choose between him and Luka, I need Luka to close. I'm giving the ball to Luka, even though I have John Stockton higher and I trust John Stockton more. Luka, I didn't see you make people touch the floor for a game for game winners. I didn't see you score 15 points in the last 5 minutes of the game. I want Luka.
Hey, Mars, did anyone have Tony Parker?
No.
I was thinking about that
I
yesterday.
had him right outside.
The only names that got
Him,
mentioned that didn't make the list were Dame, SGA, Luca. Let me check. Dame, SGA,
Rondo?
Luca, Rondo,
Of course.
and Walt Frazier and Gary Payton. Those are the guys. No one else. Bob Cousy never got mentioned. Tony Parker never got mentioned. No Chauncey Billups.
Whoa.
None of those guys.
Ox.
What?
You didn't bring a Bob Cousy?
Why would I bring up Bob Cousy?
He just wanted him in that draft. That doesn't mean that he's the best point guard ever. But John D's point about
I don't
Pete,
get it. Okay.
in the clutch, Russell Westbrook was like damn near the clutchest player in the league. I remember the MVP season. 2017. Russell Westbrook was damn near the clutchest player in the league. So if we're going off John D's criteria of
trustworthy,
who do you trust with the ball in their hands in the clutch? Russell Westbrook might have been the clutchest player in the league that year. So even by that measure, I would say I would want Russ. Like,
I'm
telling
y'all right now. When we do these lists about who's the best this, who's the best that, who's top this, who's top that, and when y'all get to doing stuff like, oh, I just don't think they'll be good as the third option, I was like, that is a complete bullshit cop out.
How? We've seen Russ as the second option.
That's what that
How
is.
good did it look?
How was the second option?
Yeah, they get their praise. They was really good team.
I think he was an amazing second
I've seen
option.
you do that in this list. I've seen Penn do that with Derek White and Jaylen Brown. I've seen y'all do this so many times.
him too, him.
That is a
Wait,
cop
when did I
out.
do it? What are you talking about?
That is a cop out. I just don't think he'd be a better third option. We talk about the best point guards of all time. What does being the best third option have to do with it?
So do you guys think it was easy to build a championship team around Russ? Do you think like this would be a
In OKC,
around Russ is
the best player on a championship?
around Russ is
team,
semantical, but
ability to
that
team.
OKC team, if they had competent shooting around Russ and KD, they could have won a championship.
I'm saying
I don't think it was a different.
You turn Taba Cephalosha or Robertson into Wesley Matthews, they got a chip.
Whoa.
Pre-Achilles Wesley Matthews.
Yes.
But like based on the rest of the list, like I don't think it's easy to build a championship team around really anyone. I don't think that's an easy thing to do. And if we're gonna go based on the list, in terms of the easiest, I think Magic, Steph, West, and Oscar are maybe the only ones that were easy. Everyone else, you're gonna have to do some finagling to make it work.
Kid.
But in terms of Russell Westbrook, I don't think it's hard to build a team with Russell Westbrook on it and you have championship aspirations. I don't think that's difficult at all.
As your lead,
Yeah, I'll give you an easy championship team. Jason Kidd plus the entire crew that Steve Nash had. That's a championship team.
I don't
right
think
there.
so. I disagree with you. But that's neither here nor there. But I think Russell Westbrook with Kevin Durant, Roberson was amazing. If Roberson was a competent outside shooter, I think they could have won a championship. It's that simple. If they would have kept James Harden, I think they could have won a championship. It's that simple. Like, I don't think they were that far away. Even with the flaws the roster had in 2016, they were this close to the championship. Like, I don't think it's that hard.
Andre
I think
Roberson catching strays.
No, Roberson was amazing. Roberson was amazing, but Russell Westbrook, we know his flaws. His
So can
flaws,
it be-
his main flaw is his
He
outside
was a
shooting.
really-
You can't
he
have
was a
another
really-
backcourt player who can't shoot the ball. That's bad roster construction.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what I
right.
mean.
He
That
was a
doesn't
good
mean that you
basketball
can't
player,
build
but
around Russ.
all of us up here are better on offense than Robertson.
Yo, John D.
That's-
Before we get to these crunch time chats, I just got one more question to ask you. So if we see, let's say Luka plays 10 more years, 8 more years, and he doesn't win a championship, can I keep this consistent logic with Luka? Even if, let's say, he reels off two more MVPs, or he gets 2 MVPs, he gets a couple more scoring titles, he's high on scoring lists, and all of this. Can I keep this consistent logic and say that you weren't able to build a championship team around Luka?
Yeah, you
because
can keep
because he
that
never
consistent logic,
won a
but
championship.
I'm banking on Luka being a better scorer, decision maker, and playmaker.
You're banking on him. He hasn't showed us
But
yet.
he's already
You're
shown
banking
that
on
for 6-7 years. He's already shown to be one of the best scorers, playmakers, and decision makers in the league.
I think I can understand. I understand, John D, why you got Luka and SJ on the list. I honestly, I do understand that. I could come around to throwing Luka in here a little early, prematurely. No disrespect to SGA, but I think Luka being around and being dominant for as long as he has been, because I think Luka has been dominant for most of his career. You know what I'm saying? Last year was an anomaly year, and I think we all know Luka's coming back with a vengeance this year. So I could see where you're coming from with the Luka thing. It was just so much like the SGA 3 years over the Stockton 20 years. Really, I don't know. That was just kind of wild to me. But I can understand. I can understand where you're coming from though, because it's been a crazy 3 years, and he was pretty much unguardable this year. So I can see if. And I'm thinking maybe you did just a little bit of projecting.
That's all we going back to. We going back to that bucket
again.
shit,
Maybe,
man.
He's a hell of a bucket getter.
I'm not arguing that point.
He's a hell of a bucket
talking
getter.
about a dude being a lead
like we're
guard.
talking about an all-time guard season.
If we're talking about a dude being a lead guard, a dude controlling the pace of the game, a dude being a distributor, a dude being able to be a table setter, a dude being elite on both sides of the basketball.
Do you have to be a table setter? Do you have to be?
That's part of your job as a lead guard.
I mean, he did good enough to win a championship, though, Chip.
Well, I did run into Jordan. I ran into Akeem Olajuwon. I'm not going to argue that point. But if we're talking about your job as a lead guard, when I think about Russell Westbrook, because Mars brought up a really interesting point about Russell Westbrook. When I'm on a team with Kevin Durant, that's my priority right there. Nothing else is my priority before that. My job is to get KD involved in the game. My job is to get KD involved in the game as much as possible, as often as possible.
But then you would have a problem. Chill. You would have a problem with the years where Russ led them in shots. Then,
but not only that. Not only that.
He never did when KD was there. He never did that.
Yeah,
but the point.
No, you know what's funny? Ye hypocrites. You know what's funny?
Here we go.
Ye hypocrites.
Ye hypocrites. That light-skinned dude with the green eyes in Golden State, y'all didn't have a problem with him shooting shots with KD on the floor.
I'm not saying.
But when Russ did it, oh my God!
Come on, Ron.
But when Russ did it, oh my God! It doesn't matter.
Hold on, that's the SGA argument.
Russ was that great at scoring. He led the league in scoring. When KD wasn't there, KD was out of season. I lead the league in scoring. KD comes back. I go from 28 points to 23 points, and I damn near lead the league in assists. With KD there. He scaled back for KD. Nobody gave him credit for that.
Yes,
KD
you did, Ron.
leaves. No, you didn't. Because he'd be on your list if you did. KD leaves. He goes to Golden State, and I go back to leading the league in scoring.
Right. And then when you go back to leading the league and scoring on a bad team,
Paul George comes. Right? I scale my scoring back.
No, you don't. No, you do not. Stop right there. You're not doing that, Ron.
I'm not doing what? I'm telling you what. I'm telling you what happened.
No, Ron. See, this is the bullshit that boils my blood.
I'm not just making stuff up. I'm telling you what. I'm literally telling you what happened.
Making this up. Do you remember?
Chill.
No, see, this is bullshit, Ron.
Oh, he's gonna bring up the 40 shots against the Jazz.
No, not 40 shots. In the playoffs.
And what did Paul George do? How many shots did Paul George shoot? How many shots did Paul George shoot? And how many did he make? If I'm not mistaken, he
He
went
was
like
like 4
3.
for 16 or something.
They
Okay.
was playing trash too. They both were.
Okay.
But
like
wait, y'all.
at some point,
85, almost 90 shots
no,
in
Ox, I'm
2
not
games
finna
as a
take a
lead
break.
guard.
No, y'all
That's not
done
your
got
job,
me, y'all
Brian.
done got me fired up.
That's
So now
bullshit.
y'all finna hear this. Y'all done got me fired up. So now y'all finna hear this. No, Ox. No, Ox. I lead the league. Kevin Durant. I understand that. And since it does, I'm finna give y'all the honest truth. Kevin Durant is out for a season. I averaged 28 points and lead the league in scoring. Nobody gave him credit for that. Cool. Kevin Durant comes back. I go from leading the league in scoring to and averaging
To like 23 a
assists,
game.
to then averaging 23 and upping my assists to top 3 with 10 assists.
Sure.
Kevin Durant then leaves. I go from averaging 23 points to averaging 31 points and leading the league in scoring. You know what happens the next year?
You cooking.
We get Paul George. What do? I scale back my scoring to 25 and I lead the league in assists with 10.3. The very next year, Paul George is number 3 in MVP rankings. Why? Because Russell Westbrook scaled back his scoring and upped his assist output to let Paul George go to that level of scoring. And once again, I lead the league in assists back-to-back years. If y'all can't accept that, and on top of that, the last 3 years that I just mentioned, I averaged a triple-double. Wow. If that's not dominant, if that's not a lead guard, if that's not advantage creating, if that's not doing everything I possibly can do for my team to win, then look, y'all just don't respect basketball. And I'm going to just leave it at that. And on top of that, during this time, I'm not just a whack-ass defender. Am I elite? Probably not. But do I make winning defensive plays? And when I want to, can I be elite on that end? Yes, I can be.
Sure,
so look, if this isn't dominant, if this isn't giving you everything that you want from a lead guard and more, I don't know what to say.
I'm so glad you're screaming.
I actually agree with Ron.
Because you know what?
I do.
You know what? KD went over there to Golden State and Steph was getting them up.
He led them in short attempts every year, I think.
He did.
Hey, you know what? I need to go back.
Wait, Ron, don't go nowhere, Ron.
Y'all do the crunch time chats.
Wait, Ron, don't.
Ron, drop the mic.
You can't leave on that. My only thing about that is because I can't argue against that. Only thing I can say is that there's a difference between Steph shooting and Russ shooting. That's first. But chill, I did want to say this though. In Russ's defense, do we not think it's a point guard's job to assume the other team's scouting report? Like, if I'm Russ and I know they're going to be defending KD in this certain way, I think it's my job as a good point guard to become a little more aggressive. You know what I'm saying? As far as me scoring, trying to get downhill, and maybe I can alleviate some of the stress off of KD, and we can open up his game as it goes on. I think that shows being a good league guard. Like, my job isn't always just to try to spoon feed KD. Sometimes I see that might not be possible due to the way that they're game planning and due to the way how they're going to guard him. So does that go both ways, Chill? Like, I need to know sometimes I got to be the one to shoot more shots?
Everything that you just said is legit. Only difference is that has to be the priority. Now, once the other team adjusts to that, and then I go to my offense, then you could get cooking. But that definitely has to be the priority. And yes, I do know that at some point they're going to double KD. I know at some point they're going to not just double KD. KD's not going to be open. Guys are going to get around screens. Guys are going to do a great job at navigating screens. Guys are going to push KD off of his spot. So I do need to keep defenses honest, 100%. Here's the difference with that. The difference with that is when Russ did that, he did that at an over-aggression. And a lot of times it hurt his unit. And when it hurt his unit to the point where they end up tipping the scales toward the other team. And I'm standing on this, and I said this before, and I'm standing on this. When I think about, like you just said, real talk, guys like Brett Favre, turnover machine, cost them more games than they won because he's a gunslinger. Yes, he was a gunslinger. Yes, he would throw the ball down the field, but he was a turnover machine. Teams like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers couldn't wait for that dude to come to town because they knew for a fact he was going to get him the ball at least 2 times. When you play against Russell Westbrook, as good as he is, as good a distributor as he is, as much as he's scaling back his game, at some point, in the words of Charles Woodson, talking about talking about the quarterback from the Bears, he's going to give us the basketball. At some point, he's going to do that. I can appreciate how good Russell Westbrook is. I can appreciate the lead guard he is, but I feel like there were other guys who were better at being a lead guard. You guys get wrapped up in this bucket thing a lot of times, which I think is important, but it's not the end-all be-all.
But
There's
chill
more
with Russ is not just being a lead guard. It's not just a lead guard thing. I mean, to me, y'all's points about like the deficiencies in his game aren't fair. I'm not saying it's not fair. However, it does get to a point because when I'm really thinking about it, honestly, if you look at the top 10 point guards list, all of these players at their best, Russ is, to me, easily top 5. There's not, I'm sorry, for me personally, as far as a basketball player, there's not 5 point guards when Russ is at his best that's better than Russell Westbrook.
Is he better than CP3?
Keep cooking, RT. Keep cooking.
Is he better than CP3?
Is he better than
I think
CP3? Oh my God!
I think he's easily top 10. I think top 5. You stretched it a little bit, but like
you put.
But
but what about the
10, right?
5 though? What about the who's the 5 you think are definitive? Better?
Magic, Steph, West, Oscar, and Chris Paul. I think those 5 are better.
Magic, Steph, Oscar,
West, and Chris
Steph,
Paul.
Oscar, Chris Paul.
Chris Paul's not better than Russell
That's
Westbrook.
Yes, he
four, right?
is. Yes, he
Magic,
is.
That's
Steph,
four, right?
West.
I am
Magic, Steph,
sorry.
West.
Oh,
Oscar,
West.
Chris Paul.
Ron, I thought we were going to get like a very passionate
Wait,
Shakespearean
Chris Paul
defense.
is better than easily better than
started out.
Russ.
I'm very
Chris
comfortable
Paul at
taking
his
Chris
peak
Paul.
is
I'm
better
very
than peak Russ.
Yeah, I'm very comfortable.
I'll give you guys.
I'm happy
If
on
you
Chris
guys,
Paul though. So
if you guys say he's a better point guard and you want to do that, which I do that argument with guys like John Stockton too. If you want to say that, cool. But just
I'm saying basketball player.
Yeah,
I think Chris
I
Paul
think
is a
Chris
better
Paul at his
basketball
best is
player.
better than Russell Westbrook.
No
I
way.
think Chris Paul is a
No
better
way.
player.
No
Easily.
way.
But I'm fine. Top 10, I'm with you. I'm with you. Top 10. Not to mention, I think Luka's better than him too. So
And Shea at his very best.
I think Shea might be. So top 10, I'm with you. Top 10. I'm with you. Top 10. But top
I was really
5,
getting into Ron's Shakespearean vibe. So I wrote a really short poem about why Russell Westbrook is not a top 10 point guard. Would you like to hear
So
it?
you wrote a poem?
Yes, I wrote an eloquent.
So you wrote a hate speech?
No, hold that.
No. I just wrote a little bit of a, I wrote some poetry in Shakespearean English, which is where I thought you were going.
I gotta get to the super chat, but we're gonna get to that, Pen. Hold that poem. Hold it, Pen. LeBron gotta get to the super chat.
Hey, Pen, hold it forever.
But it might be supporting him. I don't know.
It's the player choice break. That them boys don't get it started. The player